the Republican Senate, Republican House are gonna have to act as a check on some of Trump's more out there proposals? Do you see potential warfare?
I mean, look, I've said this many times in the campaign trail, but I view myself as an independent voice for a while. And if I disagree with something from the Trump administration, just as would have been the case if it were the Clinton administration, I will of course stand up. And I assume others will as well, Randy. So, I mean, Congress has a responsibility to do what they think is right. But I think in so many areas, the potential for progress is what really excites me. And hopefully working together to, not put ourselves into a position where we get locked in, but rather work together to try to find common ground. I've worked across the aisle, as you know, a lot. 45 of my bills are signed into law, which means by definition, we've been bipartisan because all those bills were bills where I had a Democrat co-author, and President Obama signed them, and that's what has to happen still. There won't be 60 votes in the Senate for Republicans. We may end up with 52 votes, as I understand it. It was a good night for Republicans, but we didn't gain any seats in the Senate, and we lost one or two. So we're going to have to work together, and I'm hopeful that the message of this election is going to be that's what the American people want to see us do.
You talked about the importance of your constituents knowing that they care and that you're delivering results to their area. A lot of people would argue that the president-elect, that Trump ran a campaign that kind of publicly excluded large swaths of the demographic. How do you talk to half of the electorate that, I guess, disagree with his policies and let them know that there is, bring forward national unity in those that care about the entire country when 50% or ish didn't vote for him?
Yeah, look, it's a presidential year, and it's always spirited debate, probably more so this year than at least more recent presidential debates or presidential campaigns. So I know there's disappointment on both sides about what's going on in the country, but also after the election about half the country is probably unhappy, and about half the country is celebrating. And I think we need to figure out how to move forward together. I thought that his speech last night was the first very positive step in that direction, where he talked about being a president for all Americans, and then he wanted to bring everybody in to try to figure out what the solutions are, including, as he said, he wants to hear from people and get their ideas and get their guidance who didn't vote for him. And then I thought what President Obama said a little while ago was consistent with that, where he talked about the fact that we're a great democracy, and one of the hallmarks is a peaceful transition of power, and we need to give this new president the opportunity. Mrs. Clinton said much the same thing, to be open-minded. So I think we're setting the stage for the possibility of being able to have a honeymoon period here. May not last forever. I mentioned earlier, the first couple of years of a new president are usually the most productive time periods. And I'm just eager to be part of it. I'm in the middle of all these issues, whether it's the tax reform issue or the regulatory reform issues or the issues that relate to our homeland security. Certainly the issues with regard to people who have fallen between the cracks and are victims of human trafficking or caught up in this horrible heroin prescription drug epidemic. And so I look forward to playing a key role and doing my best to represent our state in a way that we have over the last 6 years.
Senator, where do you see your role being in the next Congress, like any changes in